Imagine a planet of little TJ lasers, all highly skilled in weapons and biotic tactics, with me as absolute ruler. If you don't want to be a part of this incredible vision, then you can get a space taxi back to Planet Idiot.
I'm TJ Laser, expert with lasers and phasers. Death to the alien scourge.
Where are we?
Lasers and phasers. Lasers and phasers.
Good evening everybody and welcome to another round of the IRLF on 2019 PC Championship, and today the calendar takes us to the Temple of Speed, the Autodromo Nazionale Monza, round number 14 of this season's championship. It's over 80% flat out through these 5.7 kilometers, as we are going to have hopefully lots of opportunities for overtakes, especially into turn 1. It's a very long approach from lights out into turn 1, so especially if it rains, yeah, we might look out for some chaos in the first few laps. Also into the Parabolica, you can really get close to your rivals and set them up for the DRS zone on the start finish straight. As I've said, we're going to be racing 27 laps of this mythical circuit. 11 turns compose some of the most famous pieces of tarmacs in the story of F1. Moving to the tires, we have the hards as the C2s, the mediums as C3s, and the softs as the C4s. Let's see which ones the drivers are going to use today. Moving to the standings, it is Shadow leading the championship with 216 points, 111 above his teammate Plexits, as Kruzix and Lehman climb to the top 5. Kruzix P3, Lehman P4, Infamous drops down to P5 with 94 points to his name. After that we have Iceman with 91, not too far ahead from the best of the McLarens. Zandy Nater is in P7, followed by Curly and his teammate J. Cole, as JSR is the second best reserve and closes the top 10. Moving over to the constructors standings, we have Renault still leading affairs with a tie then for second place between Alfa Romeo and McLaren, both of them with 142 points, and the Silverstone-based Racing Point not too far behind, only 1 point behind the pair, as Red Bull with 120 points completes the top 5. After that we have Groove-based Williams with 113, then a big gap to 7th place Haas with 54, 1 point ahead of Mercedes, as Ferrari and Toro Rosso 24 and 21 points respectively complete the last 2 positions of the table. So with that we can get ourselves started to our with our qualifying session for the Italian Grand Prix. So unfortunately today we don't have our beautiful Jess alongside us in the commentary box. I don't know why the game is trolling me. Why is it? This is... Give me a second real quick. Okay, that's on. That's there. The game was trolling me there for a second. I apologize for this. I have to bring everything up. Okay. So we are ready. Let me know if there are any issues with the sound or image or anything. Let me know. And I'll try to fix those. So, we've started our qualifying. We have some of the drivers already on flying laps. One of them is Kai Bachimi. Lormans is closer to the end of his lap. There's Williams in front of him. That's Blitzkrieg, it looks like. No, it's Lehman on a flying lap at the moment. Trying to figure out if there's anyone ahead of him. There is. It looks like a Renault. It is Shadow. There's someone ahead of Shadow. Just trying to figure out which driver would be the first one to get through the line. Let's see how it goes as he gets through the complex of turns 8, 9 and 10. The Variante Ascari. It looks like a Renault. Can't quite tell. Guess we are going to be waiting as Animator still on an out lap. Where is J. Cole? He's in the pits. So it isn't a McLaren. Looked to me like a McLaren for some reason. There you have it. Veloce Hypers on his debut race gets provisory pole. Shadow 4 tenths behind and Curly 4 tenths behind the Renault. That's how it goes for the time being. Lormans 120.2 on those softs. Then I believe it's Lehman. No, Lehman goes into the pits. He aborts his own lap. We have Kai Bashimi with P4. And Kruzix climbs up to a P3. So a bunch of drivers getting themselves through the final corners. There is the Williams of Blitzkrieg. Also about to complete his flying lap. Ace of Spades gets a 123.1 on the hards. Copper Carrot moves up to P8. Iceman to P7 also on the hards. Blitzkrieg comes into the pits. And we have Entity, P5 with a 119.7. Taking a look, we have also, I believe it was Rocky, also another debutee with P3 for the time being. We have Black Panther, who is next up to cross over the line. Let's see what time he presents in his first flying lap. It is P8. Plexits follows very closely. He is going to abort his lap. He's going to take it to the pit. Superior GR bottled his lap, made a mistake, nullified his lap. He's going to try again. Superior GR is going to see how that one goes, how that second attempt goes. For the time being, we have Andy Nater on a flying lap, getting himself through the Variante Ascari, turns 8, 9 and 10. Very fast complex, a bit of counter steering there as the rear got loose over that massive curb. Sometimes drivers like to use it to get more rotation, but if you hit it too harshly, you can't just lose the rear and put yourself in a wall, or at least severely damage your race and or lap. So let's see how it goes for the McLarens. Gets himself P2. What a lap from him. 118.6. Look at that. What is it? 23 thousandths of a second separating him from the guy in first place. So very nicely done indeed. Superior GR is going to be the next one to complete the lap, as we have Lehman, Blitzkrieg, Bird and J. Cole starting their out lap. So they are going to have another crack at it. Iceman is still going out there on a set of hards. Still 122.5 is his best lap time. The Greek driver of the Toro Rosso gets himself back into the pits. So we have Bird leading this group of 4, I believe, as J. Cole. Oh, J. Cole is further ahead. Lehman is even further. So let's follow Lehman, the winner of the last 2 races. Let's see how it goes for the Polish. He's going to start his lap. We're going to be on board with him. Let's see how it goes. Getting himself a good exit is crucial, otherwise you lose an immense amount of speed all the way down into turn 1. Mode 4 of the RS. The RS wide open. Now he just needs to wait patiently. About 100, 150, about 120 meters away from turn 1. Harsh on the brakes, down to first gear even on the approach to turn 2. And that is the Variante del Retifilio. Now hard on the throttle once again. Up to the gears through Curva Biasono or Curva Grande. Turn number 3. Now once again, 100 meters away from the corner. Hard on the brakes, down to fourth gear. Ooh, maybe a little bit too tight there, but he gets smoothly through the Variante de la Roja. Now through the first Lasmo, a bit of a cambered corner, can take more speed through there than your eyes might tell you at first glance. The second one, not as much, it's a bit tighter, but you can still carry a lot of speed through there. Gets himself now through the very slight left-hand king of the Curva del Serraggio, not officially a corner in the layout, in the official number count, but this is 3 corners in fact. The Variante Ascari complex turns 8, 9 and 10, gets smoothly through them as well. And now it just has to wait patiently once again. The AstroTurf on the left hand side just as it ends. About 60 meters away from the corner, hard on the brakes, down to turn number 4, and now it just needs to be smooth on the power. Mode 4 of the RS is going to start derating a little bit. Nonetheless, P3 with a 1:18.8. Very nice lap from the Polish driver of the Williams. J. Cole is going to be the next one to complete a lap. Let's see what it does. And it's P12 for the time being with a 1:20.6. After that we have Bird and Blitzkrieg. We are going to be completing their laps. Let's see how it goes. Bird moves up to P5, beats his debuting teammate, the reserve, Rocky, the Hungarian reserve for today. Let's see what Blitzkrieg does as it's his round to finish his lap. He's going to nullify his lap. It was a 1:28. Not the greatest performance from him. He's going to have to have another crack at it. Lormans on a flying lap at the moment. There was, a bit of a correction there. He could have cut it a bit too harshly, but I'm pretty sure there are other rivals that are closer to finishing their laps. Curly just started his lap. We have Kruzix into turn number 1 and 2. Hypers approaching Parabolica now. Let's see how it goes from him, as I believe Kaibashimi is going to be next one to complete the lap. And Hypers is actually going to the pits. He's going to abort his lap. It's not Kaibashimi the next one to finish, as Kaibashimi is still on the approach to the Variante Ascari. So I apologize, but I'm not quite sure who is the next one to finish a lap. So let's follow with the youngster of the Haas. He who has been on a good streak of, or was on a good point scoring streak until Hungary and Belgium, where he DNF'd twice in a row. A thing that didn't happen since the first 2 races from him. He DNF'd at Australia and Bahrain. Didn't, every race he attended, he finished until Hungary and Belgium. Unfortunately, Kaibashimi gets himself a 1/10 improvement only. 9th place is the best he can muster for now. Curly is the next one to finish a lap. There is a Toro Rosso right behind him. Not sure which one it is, if it is Corporal Carrot or Superior GR. Let's see how it goes. Shadow says in chat that invalidated a lap that was 3/10 up on. So bad luck from him. Curly is going to move himself up to P6 with a 1:19.2. And who was that? Endinator? Not sure there was a big change. I'm not quite sure who that was that climbed up so many positions, but there was a big change indeed. Let's take a look at Entity. Looks like he's also about to finish his lap. What will the Slovenian do? He's going to the pits, going to abort that attempt. Rocky is going to get himself on his debut. Doing well so far in P8, showing very respectable pace, at least over 1 lap so far. Let's see what he does. Get himself now to turn number 11 of Parabolica. Let's see how it goes smoothly on the power. Mode 5 drops down to mode 4 of VRS to give him a higher top end speed, but he aborts his lap, comes back into the pits. We have Endinator as another contender for a very good spot. Currently P2, Endinator was at a massive increase in form. He missed Silverstone and Hockenheimring. Austria was only P10, And since then, he's been absolutely monstrous. He's had monstrous speed. Got himself P3 at Hungary and P3 at Belgium. A race where he actually sustained a bit of damage to his front wing. It was light, but light enough for him to not be able to contest for the win. Nonetheless, 2 podiums in the last 2 races. That's a record for him. So looks like he's going to invalidate his lap. We have a bunch of other drivers out there for new attempts. Iceman disappointing me a little bit. Just started with his out lap, but down in P18, not going well. The qualifying session for him. We have Shadow about to start his lap. We have Hypers, who has started it already. Lehman. So it's going to be Hypers, Shadow, Lehman, and then I believe it is Bird completing that lap. So let's see how it goes for now for the Polish driver of the Red Bull. Also making his debut today, as he is acting as a reserve for a missed queue, as the Belgian driver unfortunately isn't able to attend today's race, but he's doing an amazing job so far. On the top of the timetables, the only driver that's really on his pace is Andy Nater at the moment. Look at that, 22 thousandths of a second is what separates the two of them, as Hypers is not improving, almost 1/10 slower as he finishes sector number 2. Maybe he can get quicker through Ascari and claim some few tenths, as there's yellow flags through sector 1 and sector 2. I assume it's just some drivers letting their rivals through. Let's see what Hyper does. He gets himself through the last corner. Going to come out of it very nicely. DRS is not going to open until the end of it, and it does improve by almost over a tenth. 118.4. Beautiful lap from him. We have Shadow. Can he get himself further up than P5? Invalidated the lap. He was improving by 3/10 on it. Improves only by 1 on this attempt. Up to P4 he goes. Iceman rejoins the lobby, fortunately for him. Bird gets himself, that's a glitch for sure. He's definitely not on an outlap, especially as he's pushing with mode number 5 of ERS. Let's see how it goes. Andy Nater aborted his lap, came back into the pits. Can the Mercedes crack the top 5? Not yet. It does improve, but it is to a 119.0, fastest out of the drivers that haven't breached the 18s just yet. Taking a look at another driver, Black Panther just started his flying lap. Going to take a look at him soon. J. Cole is currently traversing turns 4 and 5. We also have Lormans, who I assume just started his lap. Yes, he did. Cisco still going on a long run there, maybe just trying to get some practice laps under his belt. He's currently on a 3-lap old set of mediums. Also have Plexit, who I'm pretty sure just started the lap. Yes, he did. So let's just follow J. Cole until the end of the lap, as we have, perhaps that is Lehman. Yes, that is Lehman, as Blitzkrieg is in the pits. Lehman was on his in lap, so going to let his rival through without too much trouble. J. Cole, who has gotten himself a 4th place at Hungary, the same result he had done at Austria. He also missed Silverstone and Hockenheimring, but unfortunately at Belgium he couldn't go above 10th place. He improves by half a second, nonetheless not enough to crack the top 10. It is P13 only for now. Black Panther is going to be the next one to get himself through the line. He's going to be followed by Lormans in the second racing point. Lormans, who got himself 2 podiums in a row in his first 2 races at Austria and Silverstone, didn't show up for Hockenheim, as Black Panther gets himself P15. Not sure if he got his lap nullified or not. Lormans, can he improve? He does improve. Doesn't beat his teammate by about half a second, but moves up to P8 and splits with his teammate. Splits the Mercedes there. Demotes Rocky to P9. Great lap there from the Racing Points driver. We have a few more. Ooh, a bit of confusion there between Curly and Lormans. We do have another rivals about to complete their laps. You have Ace of Spades just started with his flying lap. Blitzkrieg just did the same, trying to figure out perhaps someone that's giving it pins at the moment. Curly on his out lap. Kruzix as well on his out lap. Shadow as well. Okay, so we have only a few drivers who have already started flying laps. It is Blitzkrieg and Corporal Carrot. Corporal Carrot, who finishes his lap, 122.2, not getting himself above 19. Superior GR, his teammates doing much better, trying to improve on that 17th place that he holds on at the moment. Let's follow Blitzkrieg for a second. You had his debut race at Great Britain. He scored points. He got a 6th place finish in very tricky atmospheric conditions. It rained at Silverstone, and he managed to be more comfortable in the rain than his rivals. Got himself P6 at the end. Since then he hasn't scored a point though. 11th place finish at both Germany and Belgium, and did not finish at Hungary. Unfortunately, he was a victim of turn number 4, I believe it is, the blind fast left-hander. He lost the rear there, put himself on the inside wall, unfortunately. Let's see what he does. Can he crack the top 10? He's going to do exactly that. P10 at the moment for him, 119.496. Very nicely done from him. Superior GR is going to get himself through the line as well. Is he going to improve? No, he does not improve. He does not improve. That was a visual glitch. That's outlap graphic there. That was just a visual glitch. Hypers is going to start his lap. Shadow get himself through the first sector at the moment. Curly, I do believe, is closer to the end of the lap. Yes, he is. Currently getting through the variant Ascari. Kaiwashimi just started in his lap, so we are going to check up on him later on, as we have just about 40 seconds to go in this qualifying session. It's still all out in the open. Endinator on his outlap. As, oh, Curly is going to abort his lap. He's going to, unfortunately, not be able to improve. Bird also just started his lap. He's getting held up by that Williams, perhaps? Not sure. That's Lehman. That looks like that is Lehman. Yes, it is Lehman. So those two are pushing each other. As we have Shadow about to complete his lap. He's improving by a 10th. Is he going to be able to get himself a top 3? Maybe a front row spot. Let's see what he does. Gets himself through the last corner. Crosses over the line. Improvement by 1/10. Not enough though for him, as the checker flag gets shown to some of these drivers. As Andy Nate is going to be the last one, I believe, to cross the line. Hypers getting himself through the line. Let's see what he does. He's going to cross over the line. Improvement once again. 118.488. Beautiful lap from Hypers, as that Kaiwashimi in the wall. Almost got collected there by Lehman. Sorry, that's not Kaiwashimi. Kaiwashimi completed his lap. He's P12. Entity trying to improve, lost it at the Variante Ascari. Got himself down to P13. Or, sorry, P13 is the best he's going to have in best case scenario. Let's see what Lehman does. He's going to get himself through the lap. P2. And Birds does not improve. Rocky does improve. The debutee in the Mercedes number 95. Gets himself the job done. P7 for the time being. Will Endinator now be able to crack the top 2? Let's see how it goes for him. He needs to improve at about 2/10. Just 2/10 is what he needs. Of course, at a track like this, it's easier said than done. Let's see. Endinator gets a bit wide there. Mode 4 of VRS is going to put it all through the power unit. Going to cross over the line. And it is not an improvement. 118.603. And that's it for... Oh no! Okay, it lagged for me. Endinator does get pole! Endinator does get P1. The game trolled me hardcore there. I apologize for that one. But look at that! 29 thousandths of a second separate the top 2. Endinator gets P1. Hypers on his debut. P2. Lehman in P3. The winner of the last 2 races. Looks like he has some matching rivals today. Shadow in P4, the championship leader, can't crack the first row. Kruzix in P5 in the second best Red Bull. After that we have both Mercedes, as Plexits in the second Renault, clearly a step below his teammate in P8. Then both Racing Points, as they do nicely to clinch the 5th row of the grid. Very nicely done from these guys. Of course, we are going to move on to the race. Of course, everyone qualified on the soft, so I'm not sure if there's going to be rain or if it's just a strategic, a lack of strategic variance. Nonetheless, the skies are definitely threatening, so maybe we might have some rain. I'm going to try and ask... I'm going to try and ask the drivers if there is a chance of rain. They're going to answer me hopefully in chat, and we are going to find out soon. So while we wait, just getting our drivers getting done with their loading procedures, and after that trying to get sorted out with their race engineers the optimal strategy. Of course, top 10, everyone's qualified on the softs, and of course in the top 10, below the top 10, there is where we might have some strategic variance. Let's see how it goes for now, getting our data out there. Oh, and look at that, only 4 drivers are starting on the medium compound. Look at that, it's the bottom row with Iceman and Copper Carrot. Iceman for the second straight qualifying session. Very disappointing performance, I must say. I'm quite disappointed with the performance of Iceman. Iceman, who he has talent, he's fast, he's very regular in the top 5. He only achieved the podium once in this season, only as P2 at Great Britain. It was a great battle as well between him and Lehman, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Shadow. That was a very fun race to see, because on the rain and those intermediates were starting to get worn out to both Shadow and Iceman. Iceman had the car all over the place. The amount of times he had to counter steer to keep the car on the track, it was actually very fun to see how much the Belgian driver was pushing. Unfortunately, since then, he hasn't been able to repeat the same success. 2 DNFs in a row. Sorry, not 2 DNFs in a row. I was reading the wrong driver. Got himself 6th place at Germany, 7th place at Hungary, and the DNF at Belgium. So, yeah, not able to replicate the same sort of success is the Belgian driver with DNF at his home Grand Prix, unfortunately. Let's see how it goes, though. For today, he does have some work to do. 19th place is where he's going to start. Of course, just needs to keep himself out of trouble, especially if he's going to go for the reverse one stop. So we have every driver getting themselves on their designated spots, as there was contact, it looks like, between NTT and Black Panther, which is unfortunate because that means they won't be able to warm up the tires. Kaibashimi, I believe it's the first time Kaibashimi out-qualifies his Slovenian teammate, as we have Copper Carrot as the last driver to get on the grid. And just in moments, it is a very long approach from turn 1 all the way down, or sorry, from P1 slot on the grid all the way down to turn 1, as we have 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. There's contact, someone very wrong with detonator. This is disastrous for him, as he's going to drop down various places. Superior GR had to avoid him. Hypers gets himself a good start. Lehman, though, there's contact already, bits of carbon fiber flying. Lehman gets himself past his fellow pole and gets himself up to P1. Hypers follows in P2. Bird, great start, up to P3. Shadow in P4. Kruzix P5. Rocky gets overtaken by Plexus, who also had a great start. Entity already out of the session. Kaibashimi up to P8. Great start from him. There's a battling though for P1. There's contact between Hypers and Lehman, but the Williams still remains with the lead. Bird got himself up to P3. What a beautiful start. He might get a run at P2. Let's see it goes. There's a bit of a squeeze there. A bit of naughtiness there from Hypers. Bird needs to get wide. Shadow takes the better approach. It might get wide. There's contact and there's someone on the wall. That's the Renault. The championship leader is in the wall and is out of the Grand Prix. Look at that. What a start of this Grand Prix. Bird just got hooked on the rear tires of the Renault, and there's a yellow flags all over the circuit. XFO is unfortunately not joined on time to start the Grand Prix, is out of the session. Shadow and Entity are already out, and it is Kruzix and Hypers, P2 and P3. Kruzix is having a great start, and look at that, the Hypers not going to give up just yet, as Kruzix, his teammate, the German, has privileged view of the battle for P1. The Polish drivers are going at it with all they have. Let's see how it goes, as Lehman gets a bit of a squeeze there from Hypers once again, as they're going side by side to Curva Grande. Ace of Spades is out. Lormans gets into the pits for a set of R tires and the replacement of a front wing. It's going to be side by side once again between those two. Kruzix tries to get the switchback. He had to lift off though. His sense of timing was a bit wrong, and we have a safety car in place finally. I can catch my breath. Whew. Those were some exciting laps, ladies and gentlemen. Those were some exciting changes for position. And we do have the safety car out there, which is going to save the race for some of these drivers. For example, Entity, who is disconnected, but maybe can come back. We have Lormans, we have Cisco, we have both Toro Rossos who climbed some places since the start. Black Panther P13, and Dinator dropped down to P12 right behind his teammate. Disastrous start of the race for him. I have no idea what happened. But yeah, that led to some chaos, no doubt. The safety car is out on the track, and we are going to take a look at the moment at what drivers have climbed the most positions. The Sky is kind of trolling me now at the moment, because I can't quite tell. Okay, so Hypers goes into the pits. Kruzix oh, there's a double stacking there from the Red Bull. This is not... I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about this one. They are going for the hards. They are going to take them to the end of the Grand Prix. Look at how much Kruzix is held up, though. But yeah, this is going to change everything. I can't quite tell what drivers have climbed the most positions. Cisco! Look at that! Cisco didn't pit. Corporal Carrot, Superior Gia didn't pit. Blitzkrieg as well. Plagues, it's Rocky. Lehman maintains the lead as... Who is that? That's Lehman. Lehman is ahead of the safety car. Everyone is ahead of the safety car. I'm not sure if Lehman overtook them. I'm pretty sure Lehman overtook the safety car on purpose. When did the safety car happen? The safety car happened, they were through the Ascari chicane. I'm not sure, guys. Because these guys are ahead of their rivals. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. Because I think the safety car was deployed with enough time. Especially as the Delta comes in. I'm not sure, man, if Lehman didn't overtake the safety car on purpose or not. I'm not sure what the game does in case you overtake the safety car. Or maybe the safety car just lagged behind him, because of course this is Codemasters after all. Rocky goes himself into the pits. The Mercedes driver going to swap tires as well. And look at that, most of the field now is carrying on with the medium compound. Rocky goes for the mediums. And let's see where he's going to find himself. Cisco, the Portuguese, gets himself up to P5. He does look like he has damage. He hasn't pitted yet, but he has damage on both sides of his front wing. What is he doing? Why is he not pitting? The Portuguese is really not giving himself a chance of taking a good result today, which is unfortunate. But we have Superior GR in the pits. He's going to drop a few places, going to come out of the pits in P15 on a set of mediums as well. It's going to take a bit of time for the drivers to catch up to the safety car's queue. So let's see how that one goes. Holy hell, that was a leg spike and a half from Lehman. And I'm not sure if Plexit is gonna let him back. I have no idea what happened. But Lehman losing P1 because of a leg spike. Blitzkrieg now gets himself up to P3. We can finally take a look at the position changes since the start of the Grand Prix. Blitzkrieg moved up 8 places. Corporal Carrot moves up 16. Cisco moves up 13. Those two haven't stopped yet. In fact, the top 5 hasn't stopped yet. Hypers is the first driver out of those who has made a pit stop. And Dinator loses out 16 places from the start, which is very sad to see. He's gone into the pits for a set of hards. He's trying to push. Black Panther is right ahead of him. And yeah, the pack has already closed in on the safety car. I am not sure. I apologize for this today, but I am not sure. I'm going to try to take a look at my data. Yeah, I don't think I have data for the Italian Grand Prix in terms of the tire strategies. I'm trying to take a look at it. But having a look through my notes, I don't think I do. No, I do not, unfortunately. Yeah, I do not have data for the Italian Grand Prix in terms of the... Holy, what's going on? Why are they doing this? Is Lehman allowed to overtake? I'm not sure about this. I'm really not sure what's going on. But okay, Lehman, he was ahead before that lag spike, so... Yeah, I'm honestly not sure what's going on. He's lapping the safety car again. Why is he lapping the safety car again? We might have to restart the lobby. I'm not sure. Maybe the safety car is glitched. I don't know. But why? Why did he lap? Why did he pass the safety car again? I'm trying to look at the group chat to see what's going on, but yeah, no idea what's going on. Maybe Shadow DNF'd from the race. Maybe he can see this and let us know, because this is quite confusing. But I'm gonna try to message Shadow. Because yeah, since he's DNF'd, I asked him to come to the stream chat so we can talk. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe he knows, since he was in the race. Not sure though. But yeah, it's a very awkward circumstance at the moment. Very awkward set of circumstances. Lehman overtook Plexits and then I guess he was ordered to overtake the safety car. I really don't know what's going on. And Plexits is 2 seconds behind. Why is there so much gap between them? Why is there so much gap between everyone actually? This is weird. Shadow, what's going on? Why did Lehman got past the safety car? It's the second time now. I'm not sure what's going on, guys. I don't know if we have to restart the lobby or not. Maybe the safety car is glitched, but it is the second time Lehman gets through the safety car. As Plexit gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. What is he doing, man? There is no rush. There's no rush to this. You are under safety car. You have a mile of a gap between yourself and the rim. Oh, god damn it. He's gonna drop down a fair chunk of positions as well. And it's going to come out in P17. Yeah, it's going to come out in second last place. Entity, unfortunately, hasn't been able to rejoin the lobby. The safety car looked stopped. Oh, Cisco has a collision with Corporal Carrot. What's going on? Safety car is glitched. And Blitzkrieg is disqualified for ignoring L. What is going on? Yeah, that's going to be a restart for sure. Looks like it is going to be a restart. Cisco, I don't know why Cisco... Looks like Cisco crammed himself into the back of Corporal Carrot. And now he's just holding everyone behind him. Blitzkrieg overtook both of them and got disqualified. Right? Yeah, we're going to restart the lobby. As... Didn't he get disqualified? I thought he did. I don't find it in the incidents. Okay, this game is a mess. Yeah, it is going to be a restart. Everyone is going to be opening another lobby, and we are going to take a look at that one. In the meantime, for those of you who have arrived later on, first off, I would like to ask you to give a like to the live stream, because of course it helps promote the live stream to other people and make the community grow, right? Because the algorithm understands this live stream as something you enjoy. Therefore, if you like and do all that stuff, it's going to promote to other people, and some other people might discover the league, might watch the live streams, might want to join, right? So it's going to be I really appreciate if you do. Shadow, can I join? I'm going to join the lobby. And second of all, I'm going to give you guys a look. Gonna give you guys a look at, well, first muting everyone. Can I mute you all? Thank you very much. I'm going to take a look at the standings. So, for those of you who have missed it, you guys can see there is... Yeah, I'm spectating, right? Just confirming. Yes, I'm a spectator. Okay. So, there is Shadow still leading the championship with 216 points. There's then Plexits in P2 with 105, and though Plexits hasn't really had the greatest of performances since his podium at Austria. He got a second place there, but since then he's only gotten a fifth place at Belgium, because he DNF'd at Silverstone and Hockenheim and did not show up for Hungary. He wasn't able to take part of that race. So yeah, as I can see, he's really losing out to Shadow, and his rivals are catching up. Kruzix, who's had a great surge in form, has gets himself a podium, and sorry, 2 podiums, and only once he finished outside of the top 5 in the last 6 races. So a good return to form from Kruzix, whose lowest finish of the season is a P10 at Canada, and since then is consistently in the top 5, so he gets himself up to P3. Lehman gets himself 4th, so Kruzix and Lehman in the last race both jumped in famous, with only 94 points to his name. Then we have Iceman, who hasn't had the greatest of performances recently. Then we have Andy Nater, who's really coming in a surge, even though he's not in the top 5. He's really gaining some points, because early on the season he is having similar results to his teammate, and now he has a big gap to his teammate. I'm not going to do the mental maths because I'm a dumb person, but yeah, it is a big gap from J. Cole to Andy Nater. JSR, the second of our reserves, closes the top 10. Taking a look at the constructors, after Belgium, everything took a knock, because Alfa Romeo now is tied up with McLaren, as McLaren had a very good performance with that 3rd place from Andy Nater. J. Cole still finished P10. J. Cole had a troubled race, but still finished with a single point, which is not too bad. But that also good performance from the Racing Point team, I believe, just confirming that one. Curly, no, it wasn't actually. Curly finished in P8, and Lormans finished in P13. So, as you guys can see, everyone has a chance of getting that top 2 spots. Everyone, even Williams, especially with Lehman winning the last 2 races, even Williams has a chance of conquering that 2nd spot, especially with the break in form of Iceman. Iceman hasn't had the same good results he had earlier on the season. So, yeah, he really started slowing down on that 142 points pace and allowed everyone to catch up. So, it really is very wide open, that battle for P2. P1, I would say, is wrapped up, but it is what it is sometimes. Going to see how it goes, as we're going to restart the lobby soon. Just, I think every driver is in. So, let's see how it goes. Yeah, Bill is saying in chat, tell the drivers there's another 26 laps. I mean, I'm pretty sure the drivers know that. It just it was a lot of chaos because of the standing start from Andy Nater. I'm guessing we are just waiting for the grid to be remade, because we are not going through qualifying again, I don't think. Yeah, no qualifying custom grid. That's yeah, that's going to be, we have to remake the grid. So just waiting a couple more moments, and while that is, I'm pretty sure I brought a water bottle to me so my throat doesn't collapse midway through the race. Looks like I actually forgot it, so I'm going to get it back. Give me less than 10 seconds. I'll be right back. I just don't want to dry off the hydration, you know? Okay, welcome back. I apologize for that one. But yeah, I really thought I had brought my water bottle with me. Turns out it was back in the fridge. Because I'm good at remembering the things I do. That was a very intense couple laps. We start with Cisco on pole. I mean, you gotta earn it. You gotta earn it. Andy Nater is going to start on pole. Hopefully, the car doesn't die on him. Hopefully. Because that really started some spiciness in the front. Well, all throughout the field, really. Because most drivers had to avoid him, right? So, yeah, it was a very scary moment. It is what it is. Ghosting is on, so fortunately for them, fortunately for the Williams of Lehman, he was able to not get damage from the parked McLaren. You didn't then race got cancelled? When did you get pole and race got cancelled? I don't remember. I apologize, man. I don't think I was commentating. I don't recall. Yeah, taking a bit while. You feeling dizzy or that high up? Well, that's unfortunate. Don't want people passing out in the cockpit. Quite dangerous thing, I might say. Yeah, looks like Andy Nater is saying on the group chat that he had a delayed start. Okay, Shadow is giving the go sign. Let's see how that one goes. Going to start soon. We already have the countdown. And we are going to add on to the start of the session. I can take a look at the grid once again. It's unfortunate. Now, it would be nice if the drivers started the race on the tires they qualified on. Again, like if they recreated the tires they picked, because if not, it's a bit naff. I think it's up to them, but I think like for the competitive integrity, if I can say that, for the sake of that, I think everyone should take the conscious decision to just start on oh yeah, I wonder if Adinator had the red. Yes, that's exactly what he described. He still had these red lights on the screen. He had a delayed start, so that's what happened. Everyone was going and he was still parked, so yeah, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. The skies are clear now, as I guess there wasn't going to be any chances of rain, but we are going to have definitely some great racing, no doubt, especially as Andy Nater is now going to be able to show what he's got himself on pole. Less than 10, sorry, no, less than, it was about 16, wasn't it? 16 thousandths of a second away from Hypers in P2. He was doing his debut, coming home with a blast here at the Temple of Speed. And hopefully we have formation lap. Yeah, looks like we do have formation lap, fortunately. And okay, we have someone who didn't do that. Iceman and Copper Carrot are still starting on the mediums. Blitzkrieg is also starting on the mediums. There's someone else who isn't. If we have 20 drivers, Where is Entity? What the hell? I only see one Haas. Who is the repeat? Guys, let me find out. This is going. You forgot the setup? That's nice, Shadow. Good job, mate. Good job. Well, you need to lose some points to make it a fight for the championship lead. So, it is what it is. Welcome to the club. I also forgot the setup in another league last week. But yeah, who is the repeat driver? Because we have 20 cars and I don't see the second Haas anywhere. Entity, I actually think he joined late, so... I have no idea who is the repeat car. Because we have 20 entries, but only one Haas. If you guys can find that one for me, that would be amazing. Yeah, I have no idea. But okay, I'm going to carry on. Copper Carrot is once again going to be the last one to get himself on the grid, with Cisco and Iceman right ahead of him. Oh yeah, it's P13 that is gone. Thank you for pointing that out, Bill. As it was Entity who wasn't able to join us on time. As there we have it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. And once again, Andy Nater comes back into the track. Ooh, that's chaos once again. Andy Nater is disqualified for reversing off the start line. So he's not even going to be able to carry on like it was last time out. Hypers this time around takes the lead much cleaner. Lehman down to P2. Shadow and Placids P3 and P4. Rocky and Chosen Bird get themselves some places. Bird is going to try to challenge his rival, or sorry, that is Rocky trying to challenge Placids. But the Renault does break later. Much more or much well behaved. Oh, Placids gets wide, and Rocky is going to say thank you very much. Claim a position. Up to P4 is the Mercedes. Entity has left the session, of course. He joined us too late. Let's see how that one goes, as we have yellow flags once again to sectors 1 and 2. Jumping back to the front, it is Hypers followed by Lehman. Or yeah, he's followed by Lehman with Shadow in P3, Rocky P4, Plexus P5, Bird P6, Cruisix in P7 as he lost some places. Curly in P8, Kaiba Shimi, great start, P12 to P9, Blitzkrieg in P10, Black Panther in P11, Lormans is getting very close to Black Panther there as they are going on a drag race now into Parabolica. Let's see who takes the upper end. It is Lormans, climbs up, and J. Cole and Iceman are still going side by side as well into turn number 11. The McLaren does take the upper hand that time around as both Toro Rossos are demoted to the last spot of the grid. Let's see how it goes, as I think, yeah, Andy Nater got himself a delayed start once again as Plexits? I'm not sure who that is. That is Plexits goes straight on, completely misses the braking zone. Unfortunately, didn't hit anyone. J. Cole overtakes the Portuguese of the Ferrari, but look at that. There's going to be another contention moment there for P5 as Cruisix gets or tries to challenge Bird. But the Red Bull can't get past, can't separate the Mercedes. It's going to be P6, the place with which Cruisix has to stay content with for the time being. Cisco and J. Cole coming to blows yellow flags in Sector 2. Maybe Superior GR. Looks like it was so. He's losing a lot of time at this point. Let's go and... oh, Cisco is coming under pressure from Iceman. It's going to be side-by-side moment. And Iceman just carries more speed and gets himself the move done. Cisco, oh, Ace of Spades is out! Ace of Spades is in the wall. He doesn't look like he's completely out of the race, he's ghosted. But he has his front wing completely wiped off, and he has left the session, which I don't think he's league as well. I'm pretty sure that he has to go into the pits. But the Ferrari of Ace of Spades in the wall, coming out of the Variante Ascari. Very unfortunate stuff from him. Kaiba Shimi Look at that. He might try to have a look at Curly, not being able to get anything just yet, but he's pressurizing a lot the Swiss driver of the Racing Point. So he's going to stay put for the time being. Bird is going to challenge his teammate. It's going to be side by side as they approach the Variante de Roggia or della Roggia, and Bird gets himself, he pushes his teammate wide. Cruzik's going to say thank you very much, gets a better exit than Bird, moves himself up to P5, can't quite capitalize on that and overtake Bird. He overtook Rocky for P6, not Bird, as I was previously mentioning, so apologize for that one. But Plexits is also not able to capitalize on that. He's going to stay put in P7 for the time being. A bit of a gap is opening up from P4 to the cars ahead, as we have a virtual safety car out on track at the moment. Let's see if any of our drivers are going to pit for the yards under the virtual safety car conditions. Quite interested in that one, to be honest. Yeah, he had the wall ahead of him, so he had to reverse, but the game still counted as reversing off the start line. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We have Shadow coming to the pit. Shadow probably making some adjustments to his front wing as Iceman. Oh, we have a restart. The restart has already gone on. Plexits is trying to overtake or get overtaken by Curly. Let's see, will the Racing Point driver be able to get the move on Rocky? Also over to Cruzix off the restart. There were a couple drivers napping, it looks like. Let's see how it goes. Curly can't quite pull the trigger just yet. He's going to try to brake later. Can't quite get it done. Plexit still gets wide of the chicane. Curly says thank you very much. Gets the inside of the first Lasmo. Gets P6. Beautiful maneuver there from the Swiss driver of the Racing Point, as it looks like Bird 5 seconds away from the top two are still Lehman and Hypers, the Polish drivers, still giving their all to the top of the standing. Cisco is out of the race, so disastrous start of the race for the Ferraris. And Shadow is probably going to make some adjustments in the front wing, because that's the only aerodynamic adjustment he can make, which is unfortunate, but he is going to take the hards until the end of the race. Superior GR and Iceman are doing the same, as Chosenbart swaps positions with Rocky. Ooh, a big mistake there from the Mercedes drivers. Kruzix also follows through. I'm not sure yet. DRS is still not enabled to these drivers, but the Mercedes is going to get the slipstream off of his teammate. He's going to get boxed in though. It's going to be 3 wide now into the Variante della Roggia. Oh, there's a big lockup there from Rocky, or sorry, Chosen Bird, and Kruzix is actually collected by the Mercedes, so not sure to how clean that one was, but yeah, Bird getting completely across the track, blocking Kruzix, who is trying his best to get past the Mercedes. Going to get the switchback, going to put the traction down earlier, not able to pull the trigger. That was Bird, swerves left and swerves right to block Kruzix, as he gets a 3-second time penalty for extending the track limits. Now Curly has caught up to this group, also Plexit, Sky Bashimi right behind them, also Lormans, then a little bit of a gap to Blitzkrieg. Let's see how it goes. The DRS is available to the Red Bull. He's going to pull the trigger. No, it is, ooh, actually not. Curly taking a cheeky look at the inside. He's going to refrain from any moves as Blitzkrieg gets overtaken by Black Panther. Black Panther getting the DRS. Blitzkrieg did not. But now it might be all for nothing, because Blitzkrieg, the German, is going to be the one getting the DRS on the Belgium driver. So let's see how that one goes. Looking at the front, Hypers and Lehman going to go on board with Williams. You can see how much he's closing in lap after lap with the DRS and the slipstream. He keeps himself on mode 0 of ERS. Hypers, they basically have the same amount of ERS, which is good to see. Now it's going to be another battle once again between Bird and Kruzix, as Kruzix finally moves up to P4. Curly right behind the pair of them, not able to make a move just yet. He's going to have to stay put in P6 for the time being. Lorman's also getting very close to Kaibashimi. He's going to try a move on the Haas. No, he's not just yet. And Black Panther, look at this, actually surprising. Black Panther, despite not having DRS, kept himself ahead of Blitzkrieg and J. Cole. So very surprised by that one, as Plexits, look at how close. Oh, it didn't get the best of exits out of the second Lasmo. If he got closer, he probably would be able to get himself past Curly, or at least challenge him, which of course is going to be tough, given that the Racing Point also has the benefit of DRS. But yeah, he could have tried to make something work, or at least try to make Curly look at his mirrors more than what's ahead of him and try to force him into a mistake. That didn't happen. Cruisix is already pulling away from Bird. Bird is going to have the DRS, of course. The Slipstream, not so much though. Cruisix is over a second away, so he's not going to get the same, unfortunately for him. Bird is on mode 2 of ERS, especially because he doesn't have much to work with at this point, but is really closing in on Cruisix. And look at that, he's glued once again to the rear gearbox of that Red Bull. Rocky, on his debut, gets himself up to P3. Very good performance from the Hungarian. Very nice job indeed. Plexits is going side by side with Curly into the Variante della Roggia, and he gets the move done. Even before that one, oh, there's contact! There is contact, there's a piece of carbon fiber flying from the front wing of Curly. You can see the left side of his front wing is damaged. And that's going to be very difficult for him to have competitive lap times as he goes wide. His wheels touch a little bit of the gravel there. And look at that, Kaibashimi might also get Curly. No, he's not close enough. Endinator is out of the lobby, he was already out of the race. Unfortunately for him, the pole sitter getting a delayed start twice in a row. There's also a drag race between Plexits and Curly, and I believe from Cruisix and Bird, as Bird is going to have a look. Kaibashimi is going to throw himself at the inside of the Renault. He's going to make it stick. What a move there from the number 18, the youngster. Forces the Renault wide. Lormans is going to say thank you very much. Going to get a better run. He might overtake all three of them. Let's see how it goes. He's going to have the RS, the As as well. They are banging wheels. It is 3 wide on the run into the run. Let's use the last of the late breakers into that Variante. It is a big mistake once again from the Renault. Plexits gets himself wide, misses the braking zone, and I'm not sure how that's not a penalty, but Curly and Kaibashimi get away with it. Lormans is also going to try to contest now Plexits, and he does get the move done. Kaibashimi is going to try to take a look at his rival. Let's see how it goes. There's wheel banging once again. He's forced onto the gravel. Lormans might be able to take another move, and there's damage once again for the other Racing Point. Lormans gets damage on the exact same spot as his teammate is, and Plexits is out of the race. Plexits is out of the race, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to figure out where that one happened. And Plexits, I'm not sure what happened, but he just parked his car on the exit of Lesmo 1, and he is out of the Grand Prix. Yellow flags in Sector 2. Cruisix having another one at Bird. This has allowed Rocky to just pull away. He's already 3 seconds away from these drivers, as Rocky is at the moment 7 seconds away. He might not be for too long though, as they go hard on racing to turn 1. Fortunately, no contacts. Also, no overtaking occurring. Oh, Lormans goes into the pits to replace his front wing. Cruisix, Bird weaving a little bit there. Not sure if the stewards are going to have to take a look at that one or not. But Lormans is going to take himself into the pits. J. Cole, Blitzkrieg and Black Panther are still... Ooh, big tank slapper there from J. Cole. And Lormans is going to come out of the pits on a set of hards. Is going to rejoin the track about 12th place. I don't think Corporal Carrot is going to get him. Kaibashimi though, very, very close to Curly. Curly does have damage. Of course, Curly is going to be losing time to the top 5. Kaibashimi needs to do what he can, the youngster, to get himself past Curly, even though Curly did have a much better exit out of the second Lesmo. Taking a look at the ERS modes, Curly is struggling a little bit. He has to save, at least compared to Kaibashimi. Let's see how that one goes. As Draco gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him. Cruisix is going to have a go at his rival. No, he's not. Is Kaibashimi going to take a look? Not yet. These two are going to be waiting for the start of the next lap. Lehman still putting the pressure on Hypers. Lehman about 60% of ERS. Hypers, despite having to defend, is doing actually better, as we have a few pit stops already. It is Cruisix and Curly getting into the pits. Cruisix and Curly is going to replace his front wing. I'm I'm sure, yeah, he's going to lose a couple seconds with that front wing replacement, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Kruzix is already in and out of the pit lane. Shadow is going to claim P9 from him. Kruzix still rejoins the track in the top 10. He comes out of the pits right ahead of his teammate, who's coming full blast, 1 second away from Corporal Carrot, 1.5 seconds away from the British driver of the Toro Rosso. So we jump once again up to the front. Lehman just putting unrelenting pressure on Hyper since the start of the race. Hypers using a bit more of ERS on this lap. And yeah, just the amount of pressure these two must feel. Fellow Poles, I'm pretty sure they know each other from other leagues, from racing each other in other circumstances, so I'm pretty sure these two know each other. As Lehman is going to carry on, he's going to take the DRS this time around, so that's probably why he's not pitting, just to get this extra kph down into turn 1 one last time. As Hyper is going to get into the pits, Rocky gets himself into the pits. Bird comes through. Kaiba Shimi still going on as well. Blitzkrieg too far behind to get the DRS off of him. Let's see where the Polish driver, the reserve driver of the Red Bull, joins the track in. P5 for him. Rocky is going to be in P6. Black Panther gets into the pits. Let's see what it goes for him. Soft South Medium Zim is going to get jumped by Shadow, by Rocky, by Kruzix. Maybe Curly and Mormons. Let's see. Those two had to replace their front wings. So let's see how it goes. Ooh, it's going to be close. Maybe not for Black Panther, but definitely for J. Cole, as Curly is going to try his hardest to get past the McLaren. Yes, he does get past the McLaren. Is it going to be enough for him to get past the Alfa Romeo? They are going to go side by side into the Valente de Retifilio. And Panther is a bit squeezed on the outside, but ultimately has to give up 10th place. Lormans out to P12. He's going to have to push a little bit as well, but now we have a bit of a four-way battle for what is P9. These might get tasty as well in the laps to come. Taking a look further up the order, as Iceman gets a penalty, unfortunately for him, as he's holding up a Corporal Carrot on fresher tires, much closer to him. Not fresher tires, but softer tires. As Lehman gets himself into the pits. Bird, I'm pretty sure Bird and Kaibashimi are going to the pits as well. Bird goes, Kaibashimi goes. Any penalties? Nope. Very clean in and out for them. Blitzkrieg started on the mediums. He's going to carry on. He's going to inherit the lead of the Grand Prix. Hypers is going to continue with P1, especially as he gets a good run on Lehman. That tucks behind him for a little bit of the slipstream. Gets the job done back to the front. Of course, Lehman now has one lap fresher tires. As these two, as close as these two are, this might be entirely the difference maker, as Bart comes out of the pits behind Kruzix because of the Germans. Undercut. Rocky is up to P4, 4 seconds away from Shadow and Kruzix, as Shadow is going to take those hards to the end, I believe. Kruzix is on fresher, softer tires, so I'm sure he's going to start pulling away. Of course, Shadow also forgot to get his setup in the car, so he's also having a higher drag profile on his car, unfortunately for him. So that it is what it is. It's on default setup at the moment. Woma, I'm not sure who Jake is, but we restarted the race because the safety car got glitched. So we had to restart the lobby, and that's how Jake got back in. I guess Jake is Shadow, right? Yeah. Oh, Draco loses a place to Lorman rather, as Hypers gets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. And look at this, a worse exit though for Lorman. J. Cole on 0 mode of ERS. Lorman on mode 3, that's what he needs to keep himself ahead, but now J. Cole is going to take the slipstream and the DRS. Lorman still mode 5, just trying to get as good of an exit as he can. Shadow gets overtaken by Bird, there's no match really at this point. Blitzkrieg started on the mediums, is still yet to pit. I believe he's the only driver yet to pit. Him and Corporal Carrot, they started the race on the mediums. They are yet to pit. I'm pretty sure they are going to pit about lap 15, so they are getting closer to their pitting window. Blitzkrieg, unfortunately, not working very well, as Lehman's teammate, especially, is going to get himself between them. This is not... Claire Williams must be fuming at this point. Look at that, how much Blitzkrieg has... yeah, he's fighting it. Yeah, look at that. Blitzkrieg is coming to the inside of Lehman. There's contact between them, of course. There's always going to be contact, even though, well, you shouldn't have contact, right? Lehman still has, as much as frustrated as he is, he still has to be a clean driver. So that could have been bad for the Williams. But yeah, Lehman got severely held up. Fortunately, he still gets the arrest, but he got severely held up. Blitzkrieg not having the greatest sense of the situation he was on, unfortunately for him. Bird got overtaken by Shadow. Is going to try a look at him again. Not available to do so just yet. Lormans and J. Cole are going to run another round at it. Look at the closing speed as we approach the first chicane once again. Let's use the bravest under the brakes. It's going to be brand new mediums versus brand new hards. And J. Cole, with better traction, manages to maintain his 11th place for the time being. Lehman, look at that. Those two already pulled 2 seconds on Blitzkrieg. Take a look at that one. As Hypers is still leading. The amount of pressure between the two of them, you can feel it. You can feel how much these two are pushing each other at the moment. Very good stuff to see. I do believe the fastest lap is courtesy of Hypers. Yes, it is. Just 2/10 faster than the one from the Williams. 5/10 away from each other is where they are. Blitzkrieg speeds in the pit lane, gets a 5-second penalty. He was doing so well. Unfortunately, it is what it is. 5 seconds penalty for pitting. Ace of Spades is still going on after his crash early on. Is in the pits as well. Blitzkrieg going for a set of softs is going to take for 12 laps. Not sure if that's the best, but I mean, his car is also lighter. He's going to rejoin the track in the top 10, it looks like, and he's going to have brand new soft tires. So he's going to be able to push, going to be able to take the fight to Black Panther, and maybe claim some positions. Is going to be absolutely rapid in the laps to go. Of course, it's going to be... Sorry, it's not 12 laps. Where are my mental maths? I'm a dumb person. Do you guys know that? It is only 7 laps for the soft runner. No, it is 12. What am I... Dude, I need to stop. I don't know what I did today, but I do have to stop. It is 12 laps on the softs. It's not lap 22 at the end, it's 27. Rocky gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him. Another battle that has come to a close was Kruzix and Chosen Bird. Blitzkrieg gets a much better exit out of the Lasmos, and with the DRS and Slipstream overtakes Black Panther. Is now going to be able to get a better exit out of the Valenti Ascari, and is going to carry more speed through Parabolica, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Black Panther to not be able to retaliate. It's only 3/10 the difference. Looks like Black Panther did bottle his exit a little bit. 5/10 coming up to 6/10 is the gap now as they cross the line. DRS wide open at the back of the Alfa Romeo, but look at the closing speed. How good is it going to be? Not good enough. He's not going to gain too much. He does brake later, does close a little bit of the gap due to the higher top end speed, but not enough to get the move done. Lormans also pressurizing J. Cole, though not an overtaking attempt to come from that, and Curly still pressurizing Kaibashimi. Curly is faster at the moment and is showing why he's faster. He just had front wing damage before. His teammate just got a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. Scorpial Carrot goes into the pits for a set of softs, as he was in the same strategy as Blitzkrieg. But yeah, Curly is going to pressurize. He's going to have the DRS wide open. Let's take a look at the closing speed. Kaibashimi is completely ruining his battery. Only 20% of charge left on it, as Curly is over 70% available to use. Black Panther gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him too much, especially as he could take advantage of the fact that Blitzkrieg has a 5-second penalty to claim at least his place at the end of the race. It is unfortunate though. Let's take a look at Lehman once again as they are already off of the first chicane. These two, you can feel the tension between them. Curly, let's take a look. He's on mode 0 of ERS. Kaibashimi needs to go to mode 2. Is completely depleted. Oh, Lormans has retired from the session. He came into the pits and retired from the session. Episode Spades. He's still ghosted. He's still out there. He probably... I'm not sure if he gave Slipstream to... Not Slipstream, but DRS to Kaibashima. I don't think he did. But Curly... I think Curly just didn't pull the trigger on him. Curly opted to just stay in mode 0 of ERS. I'm pretty sure he should pull the trigger now. Because into the next lap, he's going to be very fast. So he should just pull the trigger and just pull away. Go full beans for a lap with mode 5 of ERS. As if he was on a qualifying lap. Because Kaibashimi, he can get the slipstream, he can get the DRS. But he doesn't have the energy to get the same horsepower out of the corners. He won't be able to get the same acceleration. So Curly should pull the trigger on the opening DRS straight of lap number 18. And then, oh, we have yellow flags. There's a virtual safety car out. Virtual safety car is in place, and that really ruins the chance of Curly, as Kaibashimi is going to be regenerating all of that energy back up. So, virtual safety car is in place. Lehman. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. I don't think anyone is taking that as an opportunity to pit. Let's see how that one goes. Maybe Shadow should pit for softs. Because he's only losing time to Bird. He's really only losing time to Bird at this point. So he should pit for softs. I'm not sure where he is. But DRS is enabled. The restart is on. We have green flag racing once again. These two are paying attention to each other. No moves coming just yet. Curly does get to jump on Kaibashimi. He's going to get to move up to mode number 3. Should probably move to mode 4. He goes down to mode 0. Kaibashimi at mode 4 does get higher horsepower coming from the hybrid power unit. And he does maintain himself in P7. He's only slowing him down, Kaibashimi. He's only slowing Curly down. So Curly needs to get on with it. And then just push. Because Shadow is on a default setup with 14 lap old hards. What is he waiting for to claim that 6th place? Just go at him. Well, of course he cannot listen to me. But yeah, it is a lost opportunity for the Swiss driver. As Shadow, oh, Shadow had, I didn't know that Shadow had disconnected. So Curly and Baishima are really catching up to both of them. There's not enough gap though, as Lehman, oh, I thought there was a swap. There could have been a swap of positions there. Hyper maintains first place though for the time being. Curly still pressurizing Kaibashimi as Shadow just very slow. Is he back? I think he's back. He's on mode 5 of ERS, so I think he's back. Kaibashimi doesn't get the DRS, but he does get the slipstream. He's getting closer to Shadow. He's going to pull the trigger on it. Not yet. He's not close enough. He's going to have to stay put in P7, but Shadow now is going to have some work to do. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, Shadow. I guess Shadow was the cause of that virtual safety car, because if not, he probably should have pitted for softs. Just for the better pace, because he's losing time just by having that setup. Ooh, that's contact by Curly as he tries to pull the trigger on Kaibashimi. Not effective. The rear slipping out from him a little bit. I got the impression that as Curly went on the brakes, he had to countersteer actually to make to the corner, because otherwise he would spin. I think he locked up the rear tires. And look at this. Look who has joined the party. Blitzkrieg is going to get mode 4 of ERS. It's going to be 3 wide into... Oh, there was a bit of a lag spike. It might end up into this 3 wide once again. There is... Oh, yeah, that's not enough space. And the Racing Point. No one wanted to back out. The Racing Point gets forced wide. Kaibashimi maintains P8 and is now behind Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg, this is exactly what he wanted. Overtook both of them in the same corner. And then Shadow is going to be a sitting duck. Let's go on board with him. Mode 3 of ERS. The ARS and the slipstream. You can see the name tag above Shadow's car getting more and more opaque, or losing its transparency as it gets closer and closer. Ooh, look at that. He had to actually lift off to avoid the back of him as Black Panther loses 10th place to J. Cole as that battle goes on for a little bit more. Shadow is on mode 4. They are both about to deplete their batteries. Are going side by side into the second chicane of this layout. Blitzkrieg gets the move done as Iceman gets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Beautiful move there And Blitzkrieg now, he needs to pull away. He's going to be using those softs to pull away, yeah, but Shadow, of course, is very experienced, is very fast, and yes, he does have the stock setup, but Shadow does get the slipstream and DRS. He does have the older tires, though, so I'm interested in seeing how that one is going to turn out. Curly, though, he didn't get damage in that contact as they were approaching 3 wide, this exact same complex of corners, but Curly is definitely lost time. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to close it back up. Shadow, though, getting a better exit of the Valente Ascari, and Blitzkrieg gets dropped down to P7 once again. Kaibushimi is going to take the double slipstream. He's going to take the DRS off of He's not following them. He's not taking the slipstream. This is not exactly ideal. He could take a look at Shadow. If that, oh, he's going for it. Oh, that's going to end up in tears. The Williams gets touched by the Renault. Shadow. Oh, look at that. Does he get front wing damage? I'm trying to figure that one out. Curly gained a lot. I was going to say Curly won't be able to close in unless there is a battling, and that's exactly what happened. Shadow gets front wing damage. Shadow gets front wing damage. That's really, really unfortunate for him. But yeah, he just went on the brakes a little bit too late. The Shadow gets a 3-second time penalty. Just went on the brakes a little bit too late, and look, the understeer coming at the first Lesmo. Yeah, the number 57, our championship leader, is going to be finishing outside of the podium after, well, for the 3rd time in the last 4 races. It was the first time, Germany and Hungary was the first time the championship leader got himself out of the podium. Not the first time, but the first time he got 2 consecutive races without finishing on the podium. The only race before that he had not finished on the podium was the first race at Australia, where he came home P6 after losing the rear out of turn 2 in the wet and colliding with the wall. Had to replace the front wing. It was a very good battle with Rick, I believe it was, who's also not racing with us anymore. But yeah, that was the only race Shadow didn't get on the podium. Then he went on a podium streak for every single race up until Germany, where he got P4 and then P5 at Hungary. Came back to the podiums with P2 at Belgium, but now he's in P8 and the race is not really going according to what he probably preferred. Kaibushimi, in the meantime, has been able to not keep up with Blitzkrieg. Of course, Blitzkrieg has those soft tires. They might start to get worn out a little bit faster than he might be expecting. Of course, the car is lighter than if you just start the race on a set of softs after qualifying, but I'm not sure if they can do the 12 laps. Maybe they can, I'm not sure. My only race at here, my only competitive race online at here was in the wet. It was a full wet race, so I'm not familiar with how long the tires last when you have low fuel. So I guess Blitzkrieg is still making it work, though, as there's another drag race between Curly and Shadow. In the background, we also have Panther and J. Cole almost coming to blows. Couple Carrot has disconnected, is rejoining, is going to get lapped by this bunch of cars that we have on the monitor, as Shadow has to give up the position as Curly goes weaving. I think that's quite unsportsmanlike. That is just my opinion, to be honest. Well, let's see how that one goes. This Black Panther is getting closer to J. Cole with the DRS, not able to pull the trigger on him, even though he's depleting him of the resources. And Lehman, once again, getting back to him very, very close to Hypers. I keep on having like those arrows of the position swapping on those two. I don't know if it is the game trolling me or not, as Black Panther, oh, the game was telling me it was only less than a 10 separating them, so I got excited. That's clearly not the case. Let's see how it goes. Lehman, half of his battery charge available. Hypers is 30%. Lehman, oh, there's... What? There's a leg spike once again. But there's no damage on the Williams. And is going to it. Is it going to have contact? There's no contact. Very clean maneuvering there. Hypers doesn't get the best of action of exits though. He does cover Lehman nicely, and the Williams driver isn't able to get to move down. He's going to get to slipstream. He's going to get to mode number 4. He's going to come side by side with Hypers. Let's see how it goes. Polishman versus Polishman, if that's a word. There's contact once again, and Lehman has to back out from it. Ooh, look at that. He now lost a second. He lost a second to Hypers. He's going to have to push to catch up to him. This might have given the place or the win to Hypers. J. Cole. Oh, what happened to Hypers? Hypers slowed down. Hypers lift off. Maybe he saw that one as a little bit on the dirty side and decided to reset the situation with Lehman back to 3/10 once again. As Iceman spins on the pit lane and gets himself a 5-second penalty. He is the owner of the fastest lap, I believe. J. Cole gets a 3-second time penalty, which is it's going to add insults to injury as he lost the place to Black Panther and now gets a penalty. Bird also getting a penalty. Bird was closing in on Kruzix in the past few laps. The gap was 2.5 seconds in about lap 15. In the last 10 laps he gained a second. So he might just outright be faster. Ooh, that was risky maneuver there from Lehman. Is Lehman losing his patience? Is Lehman losing his patience? 30% of battery charge available. About the same as Hypers. The Williams driver might be losing his patience. Let's see how it goes as Sky Bashimi is only half a second away from Curly as Blitzkrieg has blitzed past, and Curly has also gotten past the youngster of the Haas. Shadow is just on the edge of that DRS range. He's still able to open the rear wing flap for a boost in top end speed. So he's able to catch back up to these two, especially as Kaibashimi challenged a little bit the Swiss into turn number 1. Let's see how it goes. Of course, there's going to be slipstream to be had at the moment, but none to come of it. Nothing to come of it. We're going to jump once again to the battle for the lead in these laps to come. Kruzix, does he have damage? Well, I want to take a look. Does Kruzix have damage? Kruzix is catching up to Rocky. Maybe he's just battling Rocky and Bird is able to catch up with them. It's not over for the battle for P3 as we start lap number 26. Lehman is going to challenge Hypers once again. He's going to be later on the brakes. He's going to make it stick. He's going to have the inside of turn 2. Of course, now Hypers is going to carry a bit more speed. You can see a bit of a tank slapper there from the Williams. And the Lehman, Hypers carries on with the lead. Lehman isn't going to back down just yet. Mode 4 of DRS. Once again, they are side by side. Last time around, there was contact between the two of them. Let's see how it goes. They are a bit more behaved this time around. But Hypers masterfully defending there, maintains his lead of the race. Kruzix, another of the Red Bulls in a battle for position. Kruzix got P2 at Hungary, P4 at Belgium. Can he get another podium for himself? The German has had his best stretch. France to Belgium has been his best sum of results in this championship. 2 podiums, 2 second places, 2 fifth places, 1 fourth and 1 seventh, as opposed to before Canada, where he didn't score in the first 2 races, then 3 seventh places, a 6th and a 10th at Canada. So much better point scoring season from Kruzix this time around, as of course he's going to get the run on Rocky, I assume. Hypers gets the DRS of the back marker of Ace of Spades, but there's lag. I'm sorry guys, this is really catching me off guard. There's contact between the two of them, but look at that. This is why you retire in the pits. Ace of Spades probably just gave the win to Hypers. Lehman probably just wasn't able to overtake because of Ace of Spades giving the DRS to the Red Bull. And that's how it is. Kruzix is going to also pressurize Rocky, not able to get the move done just yet. We don't know what these drivers are in terms of the penalties. Kaibashimi and Shadow, they both overtook Curly. I'm not sure what happened to the Swiss driver. Kaibashimi is going to have a go at number 57. There's contact, there's a lockup from the Renault, but now the Haas forces the Renault wide. It's going to be, there's a travel on the grass there for Shadow. And Curly is going to be able to capitalize on this one. He's going to close in, but he's too far away, I believe. Let's see how it goes. We're going to get ourselves back up to the front Lehman is going to give it all at this point. But Ipers also has energy left on his car. And look at that, after an amazing battle between these two, Lehman won his first two races since his debut, and Ipers does the same. A win was on his debut. Ipers takes home the win of the Italian Grand Prix. Cruisex overtakes Rocky into Parabolica. It's going to be a drag race now into the line. Let's see who takes the best of it. I think Rocky did get the better exit. It's going to be the slipstream. Let's see how it goes. And Rocky takes home P3 as Cruisex was the target of a penalty. Bird gets P5. Blitzkrieg is going to take home P6 at the moment. It does have a penalty. I'm not sure if Kaibashimi is close enough. He has a 5-second penalty. Does Kaibashimi have penalties of his own? No, he does not. And Blitzkrieg gets demoted down to P8. Shadow still gets P6. Look at that. Shadow P6, Kaibashimi P7, Blitzkrieg P8, J. Cole gets P9, Black Panther P10 as Curly drops down to P11. Superior GR, Corporal Carrot, and Ace of Spades were a lap down. Ace of Spades has actually retired from the race. And Iceman, the owner of the fastest lap, I believe. Yes, he's the owner of the fastest lap. So no 26 points for the winner. He's going to get himself 0 points today. And is going to be the last one to get 2. Whew, this was a very intense race, ladies and gentlemen. Very exciting indeed. Of course, the Temple of Speed, very long straights, very low downforce on these cars. So it really allows battling. The very long straights and hard braking zones really allow battling. Very nicely done. As there you have it, on his debut, the reserve driver of the Red Bull, replacing Mist Q, who's actually 20th in the championship. Mist Q is 20th in the championship. Ipers comes, sees, and takes it. P1 at the end of the Italian Grand Prix. He's followed down by Lehman after a great battle between the two drivers from Poland. And also, it was Rocky, wasn't it? Also on his debut, Rocky, the Hungarian, on his debut, started P7, comes home in P3. Lehman had a penalty, so it really wouldn't help anything. Ipers didn't have a penalty, Lehman had, so. Also, Shadow not claiming any penalties, that really allowed him to move up to P6 at the end of it. As Blitzkrieg gets P8 from P11, Kaibashimi P7 from P12, J. Cole 16th to P9. Good performance from those guys, as our pole seater got knocked out. He got a delayed start, he got a glitched start, and unfortunately his race, he didn't even do 10 meters in his race after his pole. So it is what it is. As this is it for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like button. If you did not, dislike button is, as always, right beside it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit the bell icon for any notifications of whenever we are about to start a live stream or to post a video. Hope to see you guys next time, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.